Today is Love's Holiday or Valentine's Day, which happens to be Ash Wednesday in the Roman Catholic calendar. And in the planet's largest Islamic nation, it is Judgment Day for the leading candidate seeking to rule and lead the world's third largest democracy. Approximately 204 million are eligible and registered voters in Indonesia who are expected to cast their ballots in any of the 820,000 polling stations all over the volcano-dotted archipelago for the presidential ticket of president and vice president, along with 20,000 legislative positions also up for grabs for the 18 registered political parties wanting to have a piece of the action. Outgoing President Joko Widodo, who leaves with him a lofty popularity rating of 80% among Indonesians, cast his vote early this morning together with his wife. He has endorsed the presidential ticket of his former defense minister Prabowo Subianto and his VP running mate Gibran Kakabuming Kaka. Police in the Indian capital of New Delhi are not taking their chances. So they put up a barricade of razor-sharp barbed wires and imposing concrete barriers to keep protesting farmers from entering the capital. Then again, Indian riot police began to fire tear gas yesterday at picketing farmers yesterday and today, including drone airdrops on tractor-riding protesters seeking to tow away the barriers and clear the roads. Indian farmers are demanding legislation fixing the prices of crops, loan forgiveness, and a clutch more concessions. India's farming industry or agriculture sector has political clout given their sheer numbers, and these renewed protests are unfolding barely 2 months when the people of India trek once more to the polls to elect its next set of leaders. 2/3 of the country's 1.4 billion population earn their keep and livelihood from agriculture, accounting for nearly 20% of the country's gross domestic product or GDP, government officials say. In other news, in South Africa, where waves of immigrants have steadily arrived and settled over the last few decades, Taiwanese and Chinese get along, so unlike in the Pacific and Western Hemisphere, where tension runs high because of China's claims on the Taiwan as its own, and the latter continued rejection and persistence to live democratically and by its own. VOA's Kate Bartlett reports from Johannesburg.
Thousands of people turned out at a Taiwanese Buddhist temple outside of Johannesburg to usher in the Chinese calendar's Year of the Dragon. The Taiwan-based Buddhist order called Fo Guangshan built this temple, but the divisions between Taiwan and China are nowhere to be seen during this Lunar New Year celebration. Erwin Pan is a fourth-generation Chinese South African and chairman of the Chinese Association in South Africa's Gauteng province.
I think the one unifying factor here for many of the Chinese that come from all around the world, whether it was Taiwan, China, Hong Kong, local Chinese, it's really they have the common ground of being here in South Africa. And so it's actually become very, very united.
Many Chinese migrants came to South Africa in the late 1800s and early 1900s because of Johannesburg's gold rush. Then, in the 1980s and 90s, Taiwanese came and set up textile and garment factories. More people from mainland China migrated to South Africa when Beijing opened its doors to the world in the early 2000s. They kept coming as part of Chinese President Xi Jinping's 2013 global infrastructure policy, the Belt and Road Initiative. There is no official census data, but Pan says there are some 10,000 local Chinese South Africans. He says that number goes up to an estimated 200,000 to 300,000 when including expatriate Chinese and business people temporarily in the country. Daniel Lee, born in South Africa, has parents from Taiwan.
It's Chinese New Year. There's no segregation between mainland and Taiwanese. It's a cultural thing which we share the same culture of.
Howard Su was also born in South Africa to parents from China's Fujian province. Su says there may be tensions between China and Taiwan, but religion can transcend that.
The politics is definitely a very tough question to answer. But what's incredible is religion, Buddhism, has brought everyone together, and is in despite of their race, in despite of their politics, everyone is like a big family here.
This Taiwanese temple's local drum and dance troupe even performed for China's president when he paid a state visit to South Africa last year, says performer Simangale Chauke.
The Xi Jinping said to us, where did we learn Chinese drum? Do you understand? And then we told him, and then he said, this Chinese drumming is used to celebrate like events or anything like that. Or when they have, back in the days when they had war, they used to play the drums.
Some people worry the drums of war might once again be starting up, especially after a presidential candidate not preferred by China won Taiwan's elections last month. But tens of thousands of kilometers away in South Africa, distance and time have brought harmony among the children of the people from mainland China and Taiwan. Kate Bartlett for VOA News, Bronkhorstspruit, South Africa.
And that's a wrap for this afternoon. We look forward to you joining us again tomorrow, same time, same location on your remote and browser. Always keep in mind to stay informed, get smart, keep fit while you catch the news right here.